Do you know that love and conflict are inseparable? Welcome to today's edition of Relationship Matters. It's all about building a stronger and a better relationship. And today we are going to be looking at the 3 steps to conflict resolution in your marriage. It is every couple's dream to have a relationship that is filled with joy, love, affection, intimacy, and everything that makes for a happy home. Now, that's the ideal relationship, but we know that the ideal can be far removed from reality. The reality for many is conflict, which eventually leads to separation and divorce. The divorce rate in the UK currently stands at a staggering 42%. So what do you do with conflict? Some people will say to you, avoid conflict at all costs, even if it means sweeping things under the carpet. Others will say to you, be confrontational and solve it. Don't let your spouse walk all over you. So what do you do? Engage with conflicts or avoid? We know that conflict can be a challenge to any relationship, but do you know that conflict can also be a gateway to intimacy? It can be a creative, growth-producing process if dealt with the right way. A marriage researcher known as Robert Bolton believes that you cannot find personal intimacy without conflict. That may be true. However, even though conflict may be a normal, unavoidable part of our relationships, it is not something that we seek or enjoy. Most of us find conflict very disruptive and destructive and will do anything to avoid it, even to the point of suppressing our feelings and emotional reactions when we are confronted, challenged, or frustrated. So what is a conflict? We can define a conflict as an interpersonal process that occurs whenever the actions of one person interferes with the actions of another. And there are a number of issues that typically create conflict for couples, either in a married relationship or in a normal relationship. But 3 have been identified as the main issues that create conflict for couples. And guess what they are? Money, sex, and communication. Most conflicts in relationships can be traced back to quarrels over money, sexual demands and expectations, and poor communications. These issues tend to change in importance and intensity throughout the relationship cycle. For example, an 80-year-old married couple may not have the same money issues as a young couple, but they may be having other communication issues, so it might be different at different stages of your relationship. So how do you resolve conflicts in your relationship? There are 3 steps that you can take towards conflict resolution. The first step is to learn how to connect with the emotion. You have to deal with the emotional tensions generated by the conflict and connect with the feelings of the other person. Learning to connect with the emotion will require calming yourself down when you are emotionally overwhelmed, to avoid getting drawn into negative emotional interactions where it becomes a fight. Listening non-defensively. Listening with empathy enables you to embrace your partner's feelings and prevents escalation and withdrawal from occurring where they decide not to engage at all. Step 2 will require discussing the problem. Don't sweep it under the carpet. Try and understand what your partner's concerns about the issue and be very careful how you start the conflict resolution. This is what we call making a soft start. Choosing the best time to discuss and watching the language that you use. Clearly define what the problem is that needs to be resolved. Be specific and make sure that you both understand what the nature of the problem is and how you both see the issue. If you both don't see the same picture, you won't get anywhere no matter how long you engage and talk. Step 3, solve the problem. Having listened and thoroughly understood each other's point of view, you must be willing to give and take and recognize that neither of you can have their own way all the time. So what you need to do is look at alternative solutions. Consider all the options open to you. One partner's solution doesn't have to be the only solution. Then choose the best solution, making sure that you explore the consequences of each of the proposed alternatives and that your needs are met, not just giving in to what your partner wants or simply agreeing to accept your current differences, even though you know in your heart that you're not happy. Don't forget to evaluate the outcome of your decision. Ask yourself, How effective was the outcome? Was the problem resolved? Do I need to try a different approach? Remember that your marriage doesn't have to go from a wedlock to a deadlock. You can do something about your conflict. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon so that you can get notified when the next video is available, because I'll be dealing with the common mistakes couples make in conflict resolution. You don't want to miss that. And check out the next 2 videos on keys to effective communication and maintaining mutual respect and trust in your relationship. And I'll see you in the next video.